There it is. Good morning. Good morning or afternoon in some places, I guess. Hi, I'm Terry from Terry, My Terrific Life. I almost forgot the name of my channel. It's Monday, y'all. I don't know if y'all still have the Monday blues sometimes. I've gotten over it since I'm semi-retired and have a flexible schedule. But every once in a while, it's like, oh, it's Monday. That's having to change your mindset on that. Welcome to Mindful Monday. Welcome to Mindful Monday. And let me start with my little banner here. Welcome to Mindful Monday, everyone. Tell us where you're from, the usual thing, down in the chat. Oh, I got people in the chat already. How about that? Hi, Dennis from Newport, Tennessee. And hi, Sandy from Florida. Oh, I like Florida, except in the summer, Sandy. I like Florida around October through January. Sandy, what part of Florida are you from? And welcome to the channel. I believe I've seen your, I thought you were a new subscriber. I've seen your name in other chats. You know, this is like a big world, but small in the YouTube streets. That's what I call it. Small in the YouTube streets. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good Monday morning or now afternoon here in East Tennessee, because I'm in East Tennessee. On Mondays, we're talking about, in the country. No, I understand country, because where I am in East Tennessee, it's country or small town with a lot of country around it. So, yeah, welcome, Sandy. I love you being here. So, on Mindset Mondays, we talk about how this thing up here function. And I thought I'd do it. We kind of got deep last Monday on Mindset Monday and I can't talk this morning, and I've had my coffee and I've had my keto brain, so I should be able to function right now. But anyway, we talked about how dendrites grow in your brain, how mindsets are started, and how you can change your mindset for the positive. But today I thought I'd have a little fun with it. And we're going to talk about just something that popped in my head. Hey, Bacon Baby, how you doing? Welcome to Mindful Monday. So here's what we're going to talk about today, y'all, on Mindful Monday. If you saw my little social media thing, I don't know why this popped in my brain. Actually, last week, after last Monday's Mindful Monday. Say that 3 times fast. Quirky. What is your definition of quirky? So put that in the chat. Let's talk about quirky. And this is what I found as a definition. Let me read this. You know, I always look up stuff. So this is the definition that I found for quirky from the Oxford Dictionary. It says quirky, having or characterized by peculiar or unexpected traits or aspects. I'll read that again. Having or characterized by peculiar or unexpected traits or aspects. We all have that, y'all. But I remember as a kid that I knew after a while I was a little different than most of my friends. I tried to fit in as much as possible, but it just wasn't the natural me. And it took me a while to embrace my quirkiness. If I'm using that definition, I was quirky. Okay, I was a quirky kid. My Aunt Edith, who was a Renaissance woman way before her time, she always said, no, there's nothing wrong with us. It's just that you come from a very eccentric family. And she was right. Very eccentric family. We didn't fit the norms of what society said we were. So I now embrace that. I hope you all embrace your quirkiness too. And let's see what's in the chat here. Oh, good, Bacon Baby. I'm glad you're fine. Sandy describes it as unusual, and she loves quirky. Yes, Sandy. I love being quirky too. It's like I embrace that term now, and I own up to it. Hey, Darth, how are you? By the way, Darth Carnivore's on here, and he's about to start his YouTube channel. So those of us that eat the carnivore / keto way of living and lifestyle, you want to visit Darth's channel soon. I think Darth, you said that it's starting this Thursday and Friday. Feel free to talk about your channel a little bit in the chat too, Darth. Go for it. So I'm glad you're here. So we're talking about quirky, unique traits. Oh, Dennis, I like the way you described that. Unique traits. Quirky doesn't have to be a negative, right? Not at all. Bacon Baby, you're getting ahead of me. She loves having mismatched coffee cups. You know what? The thing is, the older I've gotten, the more I see that some of my quirkiness lines up with other people's quirkiness. And sometimes you align with people who are just as quirky as you are. And that's how you build community, right? Some people would say the way I eat is quirky. When I'm out, especially like with my church family, they always, and I think it's cute now. Sometimes you can either embrace it as cute or irritating. I try to embrace it as cute now. They always look to see what I'm going to have. They always know I'm going to order protein. They always know that I'm going to order sparkling water as my beverage with lime. And they always know I'm going to have my little vial of Redmond salt with me. They must love me because they invite me to eat with them all the time. So they must embrace my quirkiness, right? They must embrace my quirkiness. Quirkiness is fun. Let's see what Darth says. Quirky is not being on subscription medicines or complaining about age-related pains among your peer group. That part. And Darth, that's the thing. Especially the aging. It's hard to find people with your same quirkiness that embrace this life. That's why I started this channel, My Terrific Life. I'm hoping that I'm being a good example of how you age gracefully and not painfully. I am on no meds. This is my medicine, salt, and I just ate some pork belly. It was good too. I kind of want some more. I probably will eat more in a minute. But pork belly, I play. You know what I'm saying? I play. I can go outside and play a light game of soccer with my grandkids. I can play in the pool with my grandkids and we shoot water guns and all that kind of stuff. I can hike. I can kayak. I can dance. I can do all things still. Right? And that makes me quirky, I guess. I never thought of it that way. I guess it makes me a more mature, quirky person. Never thought of it like that. I see everyone's talking to each other in the chat. But I found some other words or synonyms. That's the teacher in me. I found some synonyms for quirky. if you don't like that term. And I know I almost didn't use that word, but that's the word that I relate to, because sometimes that means some other things, and that's not what we're talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't need to know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the original definition of quirky. Just know that. So I've already mentioned one of them. One of them is eccentric, whimsical. I like that one. I guess I am kind of whimsical. Unique. I definitely am unique. I always say I am a unicorn. And I never was into unicorns until my granddaughters came along and they like unicorns. But I'm like, I guess unicorns are unique. So yeah, I can be a unicorn. I just don't have my little horn sticking out like that. Idiosyncratic. Whew, that's a big polysyllabic word for my coffee to not have kicked in yet. Unconventional. I do like that. Offbeat. Only if I'm dancing salsa and I'm dancing to the clave, but you had to be here Saturday to understand that statement. Original. I like being original. Outlandish. I don't know if that's a positive term or not. Zany. I'll accept zany because I'm pretty funny. I crack myself up. Oddball. When I think of oddball, I think of Lucille Ball for some reason, because I think she called herself an oddball. As one of the first ladies of comedy, she was hilarious. So if I'm that kind of oddball, I'll accept it. So those are some of the positive terms I found for quirkiness. Let's see here. Hey, Thomas, how are you? Target Prime Rib here on my live. Hey, Thomas, we are talking about, where is it again? Again, y'all, I'm getting better, but I'm still not there yet on how to maneuver this quickly. What is your definition of quirky, Thomas? We're talking about people who are unique. And I already mentioned that those of us in the keto/carnivore space, we're already considered quirky. We're very unique. Those who dance are also unique. So I guess my whole channel is quirky because everything I talk about, those of us who smoke cigars, especially female, we are considered quirky. We're unique. We're different. Those of us who like to travel a lot at the drop of a dime without any real reason to go somewhere, I guess we're quirky. So again, my whole channel is about my quirkiness, my terrific life. That's why I name it My Terrific Life. I don't know what your life is about, but my life is terrific. Let's see, everyone's saying hi in the chat. That's what Thomas says. I just look in the mirror if I need to see the definition of quirky. There you go. But that's okay. Have you embraced quirkiness? Do you embrace that, Thomas? That's the thing. So let's keep going. I have my little notes because otherwise I will go squirrel. So why are your quirks and differences your superpower? Have you thought about that? When I saw this, like I said, I was taking notes and I was seeing how people were talking about quirks as superpowers. I thought of Booby Goats, Erin, because she is her superpower, or her super our second entity is Butter Woman. She has a superpower and she's been really playing that up on her channel, and it's so cute. If y'all haven't checked out Booby Goats, especially on her Instagram page, it is hilarious. She is Butter Woman. That's her other personality. So again, she's being quirky, but it's hilarious. It is hilarious. And I think she teamed up with Rockin' Keto Amy on that part. So yeah, that is adorable. It makes you you. Exactly. And I think I've skipped some, but I'm not meaning to. I'll have to go back in the chat in a minute and look up. It makes you you. So, so much of society wants to be the same or mediocre. I'm looking at it as there's two mindsets. Again, mindsets, I got that word in there. And they're like, you need to be normal. Growing up, that's what I heard. You just need to be normal. You need to be mediocre. You just need to run with what's given to you, per se. But yet the person telling me that was like, well, I'm unique and I'm different and I'm. It was confusing. It was confusing. I kept wondering why I didn't totally fit in. One reason I didn't fit in, I know, is I was an only child. A lot of my friends had siblings, at least one sibling. Another reason I didn't fit in is because, and y'all have heard me talk a lot about my mom. She introduced me to a lot of the things, I guess, that defines me now, good or bad. Mostly good as far as the exposure of music. And my dad was good with that too, but I played the piano. I played the guitar for a moment. I took dance, which that probably did get me into dance more. I read a lot. I discovered my introverted self a lot. People said, I have been told that I'm snotty, or I'm, with my nose in the air, when really all it was I was very, very shy. It's hard to believe now, but I was painfully shy when I was younger. I didn't come out of my shyness, and sometimes I'm still shy. I didn't come out of my shyness until I was about 15 or 16 when I had to relocate to a new city. And I had no choice. If I wanted to have some friendships, I had to come out of my shyness. I also have been, not bragging, but been very intellectual, very smart. Like, I love having deep conversations with people. I don't think just surface level, and I find it boring. Again, not trying to be egotistical sounding. It kind of sounds like it, but I'm not. But I find it very boring if you can only talk on one level, one surface level of a conversation. I deep dive a lot. My brain is constantly thinking, and that could be the teacher in me too, the why. Why? Well, why was it that way? Well, why should it be that way? But what if you did this instead? So some of that made me quirky. Some people are like, who are you and where are you from? You do what? So, yeah, that's part of it. That's part of me being quirky, y'all, and what you see in front of you now. Oh, let's see. Thomas says, let me go up. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Hold on. I know, right? Erin is amazing. Mom of 10 and beautiful. Yes. And on a mission, and has a successful YouTube channel. She's all the things. So she does have a superpower, right? And it's fueled by fat. I like her sidekick, Butterboy. We're still talking about our superpowers, and Erin, one of our friends in our community, she has her entity as Butter Woman. So, oh, let's see what Bacon. Do your cats have middle names? I only use it when my cat is in trouble. I love it, Bacon Baby. You named your whole cat like a government name. That's what we call it here in the States. Oh, your mom called you by your government name. In other words, your first, middle, and last name, right? Love it. That is a quirk. Although, in my family, if you have a pet, if you're one of my kids, like my daughter, I'm trying to think of the term. We will have a name and then we will derive a new name from it. For example, my grandson has a puppy named Pepper. When he's in trouble, he may be Pepperoni, he may be Pepperidge Farms, he may be Dr. Pepper, he may be. So that's our quirk. We like to add things to our names, okay, in my family. That's hilarious. Oh, really? Thomas, I didn't know you were a superhero. I kind of remember y'all talking about you wanted to be a superhero, but I didn't know you actually have made one. Tell us what your superhero entity is in the chat here. Oh, that makes sense. Captain Prime Rib. Captain Prime Rib. That makes sense. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Let's see here. Trying to catch up. Really? You know what? And Thomas is saying this. He says he's very shy. A lot of people see us here on YouTube and they don't realize that a lot of people on YouTube are introverts. Like I have met, it has been my goal, especially people who changed my mindset in the past, wanting to meet them, wanting to see if they were who they said they were. So I have met a lot of creators, YouTube creators in the last 2 or 3 years, 2 years for sure, almost 3. And excuse me, met them in person and they really were. I've only been disappointed with one. Yeah, that I can think of right now. But the rest were exactly who they were. They had said they were shy, they had said they were introverted, and when you go to talk to them, it is still just as awkward for them to speak to someone new as it is for someone new to speak to them. I know on these YouTube streets that sometimes when you have a big community, they look up to you, and that's pressure right there, right? But the good part is when you build a community, you've got people with like-mindedness in that community. So we really should feel safe. We really should feel safe. But Thomas, you don't come across as shy. You do come across as you roll solo. I get that. But you don't come across as shy. So I don't know if that's helpful or what, but you don't on your channel. And by the way, Thomas and I will be talking to each other in a few weeks. That's coming up in what, about 4 or 5 weeks? No, I have to look at my calendar. Sometime in September. I do know that. It's on my calendar, I promise. Hey, and then there's Catrice. Hey, Catrice. Welcome to our channel. We're talking about our quirkiness. We're talking about our quirkiness. And you know, when you have really good friends, you kind of know what their quirkinesses are too. But I'll let everybody share their own. Okay, I'll let everyone share their own. Let me put that back up here as we're getting new people in the chat. And we'll keep going down here. Oops, I skipped some. Hold on. Hey, speaking of booby goats, there you are. We were just talking about you, Aaron. All right, have fun mowing. But yeah, that's the booby goats we were talking about. That's Butterlake. That's Butter Woman. That's her superhero entity. Oh, we spoke her up. How about that? Everyone saying hi to Booby or Aaron. And you like the government name? Yeah, you knew you were in trouble back in the day. And now, actually, if your mama or your daddy called your whole government name, right? All right, Cranky Carnivore Cutler. You're quirky. I'm cranky. Most folks think grouchy, but it means eccentric in this case. All right, so cranky doesn't mean mean. You just got a little rough edge to you, huh? That's what grouchy is to me. It reminds me of what is that? Not Grover, but Oscar the Grouch. Okay, I'm a former kindergarten teacher. I think Sesame Street. But quirky and cranky, that's your quirk. Sorry, you still fit in my category. That's just part of your personality. And being eccentric, I think that's the coolest word to say how unique a person is. Some people could say weird. I have been called weird. I don't think it's a nice way to describe a person. I'd rather be called quirky or eccentric. But weird almost makes it sound like there's something not quite functioning right. But okay, some people use that as a terminology. Oh, this is funny. Dennis says middle names are used primarily to let you know when you are in trouble. Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Oops, about to hit a wrong button here, y'all. Exactly. Now, see, that's more about how my family. Isn't that funny? Our conversation is about being quirky, and some of y'all have some of the same quirks that I have. You have one cat with three names: Ajax, Potato, Aloysius. I actually have a cousin named Aloysius. Maybe I'll start calling him Ajax too. Let's see. Here we go. Thomas says, my mom had a quirk. She named me and my sister Tom and Carrie, but never actually called us by them. What? Well, I guess that's just like families having, nicknames for kids. I remember, again, kindergarten teacher, right? In the South, this young man that I was about to test for kindergarten. I said, sweetie, what's your name? Because that was part of the test. What's your name? Do you know your whole name? And he said, Bubba. And I'm like, yeah, but what's your whole name? I wanted to say, what's your government name? But of course, he was too young to know what that meant. He said, Bubba. And I think his name was Joseph. I said, no, your real name is Joseph. Mommy and daddy just call you Bubba. And he just looked at me like, what? Oh, okay. Really, Catrice? Really? Catrice says, I'm not quirky. And I'm going to leave that stare right there. Thanks, Thomas. Yes, September 9th. I should remember that. That's the day before my daughter's birthday at 2 p.m. Terry and I, we're using StreamYard for you so you can stream it to your channel. Yes, I appreciate it. So, y'all, you can see it on Thomas's channel or you can see it on my channel. And yeah, we're going to talk to each other. We're going to have a chat. I'm going to start doing that too. I want to start, I don't know, just chatting, but having people pop on, especially for different things that they want to talk about. Okay, because everybody knows my setup now. Oh, also, since I have a lot of people on here, I'm going live every day except for Sunday, as you can see on the bottom, for the month of August. I won't continue to do this every day, but tell me when you get a chance, you can either message me, find me on IG and message me, put in the chat, doesn't matter. But tell me which days resonate with you all the most, or what other subject matters you may want me to include in some of these thematic days that I do. I would love to hear from you. I actually am doing this to kind of find my own way, per se. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to get off of that live today. Those of you who follow Chris Cooking Nashville, that man was preaching this morning. You hear me? And I think he was talking to me directly. I know he was. Chris, I know you were. But anyway, by the way, I want to thank Chris and Ash. They are the most sweetest couple. Most sweetest couple. And I saw where Chris had posted for people to come check out my channel. Much appreciation to you. Much appreciation to you. To me, that's what we do in these YouTube streets. We support each other. It's about community. But man, Chris's message this morning kind of like, just go out and do what you do. All right. Just do what you're supposed to do. Do what you've been instructed to do by the Almighty. Right. So, kind of what I'm doing in August is finding my way on which niche is best for me. But I'm doing the do. I'm doing the do. So, if that makes me quirky too, then I'm quirky. I'm owning up to it. Okay, let's see what Dennis has to say here. Dennis says, I was an oddball, misfit, shy, and socially inept growing up. It caused a lot of angst and anxiety. As I got older, I started to accept and embrace it. Exactly. You described my childhood. Like I said, I always felt like I was an oddball. I never fit into one group or the other. So a lot of times I remember, like, it just popped in my mind, standing on the playground going, I can go over there where the popular kids are, or I can hang out with the other quirky kids who are also standing by themselves. I want to be part of this group, but I actually identify with this group. But even some people in that group are too quirky for me. And it's hard as a kid to be quirky. I'm actually kind of happy that nowadays, for the most part, I won't say in every situation, but what I have seen as a trend is, they said now being a nerd is the new sexy. I'm seeing, and nerds to me are considered the quirky people, right? I'm seeing that people are beginning to embrace their quirkiness just a little bit more. Not all, because we still have those social media things. And by the way, I took the weekend off of social media except to post my stuff. Game changer. When I say my mind feels so much more rested, I've been doing a sleep study on myself and all that, sleeping better, all the things. So that might be something I do more frequently than not. But anyway, yeah, I'm seeing that people are beginning to embrace people being different or unique, and that people who are unique and different are beginning to kind of embrace themselves and go, hey, well, this is just me. I'm thinking about my grandkids right now, and I find it a good thing. They're like, well, that's just what I like to do. Like, there's no, if you don't like to do it, that's on you, but this is what I like to do. Love that. Like my grandson, extremely smart. In fact, all three of my grandkids are extremely smart, but because he's older, he's got the grade point average to prove it. And the testing to prove it. He embraces that. It's like watching him with a group of boys the other day for the first day of school. They all went as a pack out to the hallway, and he looked over at me first like, is this okay for me to follow them? And I looked at him, I went, because they were just going across the hallway to get a little dot-to-dot sheet from another teacher. But he's like, I'm good at being individual. I don't have to follow the pack. If it's breaking a rule, not doing it. So, yeah, maybe a little quirky, but love that he embraces that quirkiness. Let's keep going here, y'all. So she called me Bob. Peter, Sam, Jesus, but never Tom or Thomas. I asked her, why did you name me Tom if you never said it? That's funny. You're right. Your mom was quirky. I thought my mom was quirky, but that's quirky. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. My dad always called my little brother Stinky when you went to the doctor and the doctor asked his name, he would say, Stinky. Parents don't realize it's cute to have those little nicknames when you're younger, but you got to teach them their real names. And I would tell that the first week of school, like, hey, parents, whatever you call your child at home, that's fine. But now they got to know their government name. Okay. Oh, that's sweet, Bacon Baby. Yes, good. You are okay now, Dennis. Yes, he is okay. He's embraced his quirkiness and he's going for it, y'all. Another thing that a lot of people find quirky is the fact that I live in a tiny. And you know, we do Tiny Talk Tuesday tomorrow. I keep saying I'm going to drop some video footage on my Instagram about me kind of decorating this place. It's not all the way done the way I want it, but I'll show the progress I've made. I am going to do that after this live today. I am going to drop some photos and stuff on my Instagram. Let's see. All right, Booby. We'll see you later. I understand. Keep mowing the grass. I like this. And we wonder how I got quirky, Bacon Baby. Right. If you have a mom that never calls you your name. Let's see. It wasn't until I was in my late 40s when we went through Myers-Briggs personality type. I remember that. And training, found out that I was an INTP. And I never remember what all of that means. And only about 3% of people are that type. An epiphany, right? Mind blowing that you're a type. Like, you're not alone in this quirky world. No one who embraces life is a type per se. Everyone is so unique. Even the people that are mediocre, they're unique because they're stuck in mediocrity. But anyway, I'm going to leave that part alone. You have hit it on the nail. I like being with others, but also value my time alone. I am a social butterfly. I identify myself as a unicorn and a social butterfly, but after a while, I get overloaded. I learned that later in life than earlier in life, and didn't know why I would feel so angst or frustrated, and I had severe anxiety and all that stuff. It's because I was overloaded socially. So when I say I love my alone time, I love it. It is precious to me. And if that makes me quirky, then I'm really quirky. Dennis agrees. He loves his alone time too, he says. Let's see who else is in the chat. Aw. Greetings, Earthlings. All right. I see there's another quirky person in the chat. Twin Brook Acres. Just the fact that you came in saying that, I know you belong here in the quirky world of My Terrific Life. We are talking about quirky today. What makes us unique? What makes us different? What I'm seeing is a lot of us kind of started out the same. We were created to be this difference, right? But because we were created this differently, we were wonderfully made, right? I think we were created this way to make a difference. I don't think God made us different just to be different. I think he made it where we would be the ones to make a difference. I'm hoping that I make a difference. I'm hoping this channel sparks some inspiration for people out there who are sitting there frustrated, going, I know there's more to life. I know there's more to life. I know there's more to life than what I'm doing. Yes, there is. It's okay to be different. It's okay to go against the norm. It's okay to not be like the rest of your family. It is okay to be quirky. Quirky people unite. Right. Thank you. Don't choke on your own channel. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. Oh, let's see here. Oh, y'all are real active in the chat today. I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And since I am doing Mindset Mondays, I think I have what, 2 more Mondays or 3 more Mondays to go. Give me some other ideas you want to talk about for mindset. I mean, mindset is so deep. Like I said, I took a quantum learning. I went to a quantum learning professional development session. It was like 2 weeks long, and it talked about how the brain functions and the different parts of the brain and how receptive we are and how we change our mindset and how to teach people how to do things, and especially kids, how to help them learn things intrinsically and motivate them intrinsically, and not always give them stuff to get them to do something that is just not how real life works. So that's what has me. I mean, when I say that was the best professional development that I went to out of my over 25-year career in teaching, that was because it stuck with me. Obviously, it did something to my brain, right? It made my dendrites grow. So I love that. I love that. Okay, let's see. Ooh, y'all are going. Let's see here. One thing I learned about the types is that may be how you baseline relate to the world. Okay. But it's fluid and you can explore other types. Right. I know for me, knowing that I was painfully shy, I knew I had to do something about that. When I say it's still right here as though it was yesterday, the high school I went to, I went to private school all my life until college, Catholic school. I remember sitting on the little rock wall outside of where my high school used to be in the middle part of Nashville. I started high school in St. Louis, but I finished high school in Nashville. I sat on that little rock wall, and it hit me then. Number one, you're in a new situation. You know no one. Well, I knew a handful of people because I would come visit in the summertime to visit family. So I knew a handful of people, but I knew no one at this school. I had a cousin that went there, but I didn't even know her and him because it was two of them. And I also remember telling myself, you can be whoever you want to be. That gives me cold chills still. You can create the persona of who you want. And I don't mean that in a fake way. I mean that as I started coming across as my authentic self. And they had to just accept that. And they did. And if anything, it encouraged me because that was my junior year of high school. By my senior year, I was considered one of the popular girls, but it wasn't because I was fake. I was unique. For some reason, they gravitated to new people who were unique. And yeah, it went from there. So even when I'm facing situations now, again, I can be shy. Like if I see a group of people, I go through that same process. Okay, let me just walk into this, just be myself. They can either accept me or not. I'm looking at life now as it's always two choices, yay or nay. If it's nay, I find out quickly. I get this feeling. I call it the Holy Spirit, and he just tells me, this ain't your group, girl. Go on, keep going. Or if I feel a yay, then I go, oh, okay, I found some more quirky people. I found some more quirky people. I love it. Thomas says, I like my difference. We need colors in our lives, and it is too gray if you ask me. You're right. I like that because I like color too. You won't think that once you see my tiny, and it's only because it's not my own tiny yet. But I like my baselines of black to ground, but then I like pops of color and shapes and all that kind of stuff around me. Yeah, when life is just this way, tunnel vision, nah, boring. Or if you're just constantly just doing the same exact thing every day and have no depth in conversation, boring. So I'm just warning people out there, if it seems like I'm kind of dissing you, don't take it personal. It's just me. It's me, not you. But that's just my mindset. Let's see here. Ah, cranky carnivore. See, you learned something. See how educational my channel is? And don't feel bad, cranky, because I'm gonna have to look that up myself because I've forgotten all of those letters. I've taken that a couple of times, but for some reason it just doesn't stick. I guess because I've given myself my own definition of me, if that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Let's see. Ooh, let's see here. I like this. I'm a survivor. I mean, graduate of a Catholic school too. Yeah, we must talk. There are things that happen. Well, honestly, mine wasn't too bad. Once I moved cities, it was all uphill for me. Living where my birthplace in St. Louis, it was when people talk about, oh yeah, I love St. Louis, I'm like, well, good for you. That was a move that I will never regret ever. I loved my Nashville. I still do. Let's see here. Ah, there you go. We are all INTPs on this chat. Good, Bacon Baby. That's why we're getting along together, right? I love it. I love it. Uh-oh. Funny. Yeah, any of y'all, like, do you feel weird when you tell people about your different dreams and stuff too? Because they are kind of quirky. It goes with your personality. Thank you for sharing that, Thomas. I really hope you eventually fought those gummy bears. And I hope you actually made those gummy bears out of electrolytes where they were healthier. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So, yeah, we're talking about quirky today. And you all have really, really joined in on what your quirks are and your superpowers. I love it. Let's see. I'm going to check my notes real quick and see what else I was going to say about being quirky. All right. So let me ask you all this. Here's a question. Did you have to change your mindset to embrace your quirkiness, or did you just say, hey, this is me, deal with it? For me, I had to change my mindset. I had to say it was okay to be different. What shift did you do before embracing your uniqueness? Like I said, my shift was at 15. That was the first shift. It's like I remember each monumental shift. Like I wasn't what society said I was going to be or should be. I wasn't what I definitely wasn't what my mom wanted me to be. per se. I think my dad would have been I lost my dad when I was 13, so you don't hear me talk about him as much. But I do know from how my mom would say it, not in a positive way, you're just like your father. And then when I embraced my quirkiness, I'm like, oh, thank goodness I am. Thank you. That was a compliment. But yeah, I remember each shift, each mindset shift. And of course, the older you get, the more you embrace it. But I've been meeting people like 30 and under embracing their quirkiness, their uniqueness. They own up to it. And when I say it, those are people that intrigue me. Like I have to catch myself going, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. Oh my gosh, how did you get to that at such a young age? Oh my goodness, I'm just now embracing that. How come no one told me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have a lot of younger people that I trust and listen to because they have already embraced themselves. They've already embraced their uniqueness. They already are confident in how they carry themselves. And I love it. Like I said, I admire my grandkids for being quirky. At the age of 10, 5, and 1, well, the 1-year-old's not sure what she is. But trust me, she's quirky. She's going to grow up quirky. But to embrace that at that young age and not feel like you're different or you're odd, and in the negative sense of the words, I love it. Love, love, love it. Let's see here. I left the chat, but let me see if I can catch up real quick. You should learn to dream lucidly and then eat those gummies, Thomas. Now, Cranky, we're not going to tell Thomas how to have his dreams. That's his unique dreams, okay? But that's funny. It's still funny. It's still funny. And Bacon Baby said, no, no, Thomas, no, run. Save yourself. Love it, love it, love it. Google definition, INTP, thank you, Thomas, stands for introverted, intuitive, thinking and perceiving. This personality type is often referred to as the logician. Interesting. Oh, that's a new word. I love words, by the way. That's another part of my quirkiness. Logician. Now I got to learn how to say it, right? So I see the word logic in there. So basically, we're all intuitive. I own that. Thinking, I really own that. Sometimes overthinking, I have to work on that. I have to work on my intrusive thoughts. They're getting better. I'm fighting that constantly. That's a whole nother topic. Maybe that's what we'll talk about next week. Perceiving. Yes, because sometimes our initial perception might be one thing, but if we're intuitive enough, we start perceiving the reality of what really is happening. I'm going through that right now. I'm perceiving some things right now that I'm like, don't know if I like that or not. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Because like I said, I don't remember what those acronyms are for. Which means Spock and data. Wait, am I doing my fingers right? I don't know. Anyway, that's funny. I like that. I like that. Spock was my idol. See, well, now you understand. Isn't that funny? Just think, people made millions of dollars off of our personality traits, and we thought we were just being weird. No, we were being quirky, and it was okay. Hilarious. Hilarious. Let's see here. I am INTP because it was logic that got me here. Example, I thought if fats lower sugars and carbs raise them, then carnivore makes logical sense to me. And what you just said makes logical sense to me. I didn't think of it as those terms. I just remember that keto worked for me at first. And if keto worked, then surely carnivore would, right? Wow. Okay, that's good, Thomas. That's good. I like that. I like that. Dennis says definite mindset change, but it took time. I think it does take time. I don't think, well, how I look at it, and again, I'm literally thinking right here. I think we do a collection of little things. Here's my dendrite fingers again. A collection of little things, and eventually that they connect. They grow their dendrites, and then it becomes a mind shift. It's like that whole collective then shifts our way of thinking. Kind of like what Thomas says. He's like, he took this part with this part, and especially people with IT brains, which I didn't realize I had one until I worked in it for a minute. Yeah. You take this part, then this part has to connect. Flow charts. That's the word I'm trying to think of. This part had to connect to this part, then this part had to connect to this part, then this part had to go back to this part to get to this part, and now you got a whole flow chart or a shift of how you're thinking. Wow, we're some deep people in our quirkiness. Quirkiness is cool, y'all. We need a shirt that says that. Quirkiness is cool. What? Catrice says, now when I'm told that I'm different, I say, yeah, I am. She does, y'all. And she is different. And that's why I like hanging out with her. It's funny. Like we've said, now that we've all found a community, because I know you guys from different communities. Most of you all are from my carnivore community. Catrice is not from my carnivore community, but she's from a very strong community that's part of my life. And once you find your tribe, it does something to you. It gives you that base that makes you grow even more. When you see people you can identify with, when you can see people who just validate you, that's the word I'm trying to say. All of you guys validate me. When I'm talking to you, I don't have to make an excuse, or not that I do anymore, but I used to make an excuse for the way I eat, make an excuse for why I travel, make an excuse for why I dance, or have to give you justifications for it. No, I can just be me and you get it. You may not understand all of it. Like some of you all may not understand why I like to travel so much, but Catrice does. Catrice understand. See, I must have been telling the truth. To me, the internet starts messing up and we start telling the truth here. But yeah, as long as you find now, especially with YouTube, we have learned to validate ourselves or find our. Oh, I'm back. I don't know if it's glitching on your end, but it definitely is on mine. Catrice says, I have always been told that I was different. One day I saw a shirt that said, you laugh because I'm different. I laugh because you are all the same. I want that shirt. Because to me, now that I embrace my difference, to me now I don't fit your norm, I look at you as why? What's wrong with you? I think I said it the other day on Travel Thoughts Thursday. People will go, well, why are you going there? And my thought is, why are you not? Just like I said, that gentleman from church was like, well, I can show you some pretty places around here. I said, yes, and I want to see them. But God also made the rest of the world, and I'm going to go see that too. So why am I just going to stay in one little location? Don't get it. I don't get it. But I like that shirt. I like that shirt. Okay, let's see. Thomas has another simple logic for us. And then oh my goodness, y'all, that hour goes so quickly now. Here's another simple logic to me. If cholesterol is so bad for us, why are our cells mostly made of it? Right. Including our brains. When I found that out, Thomas, again, I'm collecting information. Those dendrites are growing. And why did we get sicker after they made us lower it? Yeah, and why did Alzheimer's increase? That's my question. It's that's a topic for another day, but it infuriates me, and you are correct. Oh, welcome, a brother of a certain age. Good afternoon. Welcome to our quirky conversation. We are talking about what makes us unique and different. Tell us in the chat where you're from. We would love to know, because a lot of us in here already kind of know each other because we've been talking to each other for a while. So we're also talking about what quirks and differences are your superpower. So yes, please drop where you're from in the chat. Let's see, everyone saying hi to them. Yeah, so anyway, any other things about quirkiness? Oh, you're in Connecticut. It's been a while since I've been to Connecticut, and I still have only driven through and stopped at a couple of places, but definitely that East Coast part, that upper New England-ish area. I love it. My goal, and see, some people would say this is quirky. Like, why would you want to do that? Would be to go from Maine and just do car camping all the way down and follow how the trees change colors. Yeah, that's been a goal. That's been a life goal. So I might come up in your area not too long from now, maybe another year or so, because I want to watch the trees change. That might be my quirky for the year. But welcome to the channel. I usually only last about an hour, and our hour, believe it or not, is up. A lot of people I've talked to is like, man, you would think an hour is a long time, but we keep this conversation going. So talking about mindsets, one thing we all know here in the chat is our mindset is we embrace being quirky, right? We embrace being different. We're celebrating our quirkiness. And I'm just going to read how I said I was going to end this real quick. Hey, Eb, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. You can catch the rest of it on replay, Eb. Eb's another one. She's a little quirky too. She may not admit it, but she is. But I love her to death because of it. But anyway, whether you've always felt a little different or you're just starting to discover what makes you special, this chat has been for you. Let's break free from the pressure to fit in and start thriving. You know, that's part of what I believe. We're striving not to just strive. We're trying to thrive and live, right? As our authentic self, y'all. Thank you for coming today. This has been, I love it. She says, yes, I'm quirky. Yes, I'm quirky. Let me put that up here. Yes, I'm quirky, and I have found my quirky tribe, right? That's the best part. We have found each other in these YouTube streets. We have found each other in our communities. We have found each other on the dance floor. We have found each other in the cigar lounge. All the things that you all know make me quirky. We have found each other, and I love it. But tomorrow, we're going to talk tiny and small spaces again. Again, I'm going to work on it this afternoon. I promise. I think I'm going to fix me some more pork belly real quick, and then drop some pictures on my IG page, My Terrific Life, by the way. But I have enjoyed having everyone on here today. This has been fun talking about our quirkiness. I like that. I like that. A brother of a certain age. Everybody has quirks. Embrace them things and live and love life. What my channel is about, my terrific life, sharing how I love and embrace life. Love, love, love that. Love it. All right, y'all. This is Terry from My Terrific Life signing off. And I hope the rest of your Mindful Monday is amazing. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. This is the awkward part right here when you're trying to hit the button and it won't work.